Now you're recording. You think
Oh, what a celestial nerd, Sir D.P. Daphnis the Third. Oh, what a strange bird. He is flying high, like an eagle in the sky. He is America's brand new apple pie. Hi there. This is Sir D.P. Daphnis III, the Celestic Nerd, coming to you live from WBAI-ville, USA. That's right. I'm coming to you live from a slice of the Big Apple called Manhattan. I'm coming to you live from Wall Street, the place where the money grows on trees. Ha, 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 ha. That's a corny joke. But anyway, I'm coming to you live from WBAI 99.5 FM. And this is Sir D.P. Daphnis III, as my theme song tells us, the Celestic Nerd. The Celestial Nerd, he is flying high as an eagle in the sky. He is America's brand new apple pie, Sir D.P. This is a totally impromptu presentation. I wasn't too sure what we were going to do today. I thought I was going to duplicate a 1-hour tape, which I did. The same day Michael Jackson died, I picked up a guitar and I did several songs celebrating the legacy of Michael Jackson. But that's not on the agenda today. But it seems like my theme is going to be our ability to soar. I was walking down the street right next door to the Bronx Zoo. Excuse me. And I picked up a magazine. It's called American Tollman, first on the scene. And it has to do with these trucks that's tow away cars and these big wreckers that helps, like if a train turns over, a tractor trailer turns over, these big trucks, they facilitate putting these types of situations in order. And but looking at the introduction, they call it the lowdown. The theme was our ability to soar, and this is by Steve Calitri. Now, this has nothing to do with WBAI, but yet it does. But it seems to be my theme, again, is going to be our ability to soar. And one thing WBAI is all about is giving news wings, giving pragmatic, accurate, up-to-date, balanced news. And we have a great ability to soar because we are the pioneers of a new thing. WBI was birthed by Lewis Hills, a great man who encountered great challenges as he was birthing this great radio vision. Originally, the umbrella part of WBAI is Pacifica. And I looked at the word Pacifica the other day, and it means peace. Peace, peace. But our ability to soar, and we have a responsibility to soar. In fact, when we do an analysis of the word responsibility, it is response-ability. We have the ability to respond to any person, place, or thing according to our independent will. Responsibility. In other words, we are taking charge of fair and balanced, if we may borrow some words from some folks down the way there, fair and balanced news. And I must say that WBAI, in their assorted soarings, they have really refined their ability to soar with news that's relevant and it really supplements the news that comes on the corporate media. And what are the elements that would cause WBAI to soar? Well, I'm a great lover of acrostics, and I'm in the process of celebrating the 50th year of WBAI. On January the 10th, 1960, WBAI came into existence. And since that time, I have an ongoing celebration. It's like a journal. I have songs and poems. And as I was about to say, or as I'm singing, I'm working on 50 acrostics based on the word WBAI. And here is one that I'm going to share with you today. Now, mind you now, this is unrehearsed. I'm just doing this spontaneously. But WBAI. Okay, again, we are looking at our theme, ability to soar. What are the elements in us members of WBAIville citizens? What is it we need to soar with the Pacifica core values as our core? Well, WBAI, W, worth and potential. Worth and potential. Why we will continue to soar? Well, one reason why is our worth and potential. And we as leaders in training, we as coaches in training, we as conceivers in training, we as communicators in training, one of our stellar raison d'etre, reason for being, one of our main functions as leaders from the inside out is to communicate to ourselves our worth and potential, and communicate to our members our worth and potential, and communicate everybody that's in our life their worth and potential. That's a great thing. And as we communicate the worth and potential of ourselves and our fellow citizens in WBAIville, we are enhancing, enriching our ability to soar. We are flying high, a mighty high. Okay, that's W, worth and potential. Okay, B, building lasting relationships. Building lasting relationship. What are the key elements of life? Is simply relationship. Life is about relationships. WBAI is about relationship. Everything related to us human beings, it's related to relationship. How do we build lasting relationships? One thing is say what you mean and mean what you say. Another thing that comes to mind is be a model, be an example. There's an old preacher down south in Georgia, where I'm from. Every time he would get up to preach or make a comment, he would say, "I'd rather live it than to tell it." Again, we build relationships by modeling trust and trustworthiness. I have a thing what I call a MAAT, M-A-A-T, moral authority and trust. Again, a key element in relationship is trust. That's the glue that keeps things together. And because we are progressively rebuilding trust, we are soaring. We are empowering ourselves to soar. Building lasting relationship. Okay, putting it another way, the golden rule. I think the golden rule is making a comeback. I passed the CWA brothers and sisters. They are picketing, and they are saying how greed has pretty much taken over our economic system, and they're just looking for a fair shake. By the way, I used to be a member of CWA for 12 years. I used to work for AT&T for 12 years. But in a sense, the golden rule comes into play. Uh, I've spent many hours here around the WBAIville Citizens Roundtable, particularly during fundraisers, and I've had all kinds of conversations, many ideas that challenged me. Some ideas I had to change my ideas. But some of the most wonderful people I've ever met, I've met here at WBAI. But one young gentleman, very sharp brother, he had a great idea on how to convert your car engine into in such a way whereby you can save gas. And but anyway, we talked about many things, but we was talking about religion, and he was saying the only thing that he took with him when he left the Christian church was the golden rule. And I find that fascinating. But another way, well, one way we build lasting relationship is simply the golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And one of my favorites, I'll probably be touching on this later on, esteem understanding as a priority. Search for understanding as it is silver and gold. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Now, this is very simple, but it's not easy. To be honest, this principle has kicked my gluteus maximum many times, but the rewards that I have received from this are priceless. Again, how are we going to enrich our ability to soar is by simply seeking first to understand. Over the years, I've done several things, and I've been a salesman. I've done telemarketing, World Book Encyclopedia. I've been doing sales all my life. And one tool that would cause me to close a deal, to close a sale, is listening, making sure I'm understanding the person I'm talking to, make sure I'm understanding what they're saying and not saying. There was a time I was a radio dispatcher at this carting company. We used to pick up garbage at the various plantations on the Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And also we used to provide containers for construction sites. Also provide containers for the grocery stores, the retail stores. And there was a brand new grocery store opening up on Hilton Head. And somehow or another we kind of botched the whole deal. And I listened to the gentleman. I empathized with him. I allowed him to talk. I didn't interrupt him. And I really connected with him. I began to, well, as the kids say, I can feel you. So I really empathized with him. And I really, as a priority, sought to understand what the gentleman was saying. And later on, my boss told me that, hey, man, you saved that account. Again, WBI will continue to soar as we continue to cultivate our ability to seek first to understand, then to be understood. Okay, we're doing that acrostic. By the way, now this is not rehearsed, as you may note, but like WB, worth and potential, to build lasting relationships. Agreement. I mean, like, when I was in Boston, I lived in Boston for a few years, and I was cleaning out my friend's room. Had a lot of papers and books, and they needed to be organized, and a whole lot of stuff needed to be thrown out. And one of the books, which was one of my friend's daughter's books when she was in college, there's a book about being a master, becoming a master student. And it's a great book. And there was one little article that was called You Are Your Word. You Are Your Word. And his main focus was on agreement. And let me share with you some of this idea, concept, which he entitled in the book, Becoming a Master Student. He say, you are your word. He starts out talking about there is at least about 4 billion people on planet Earth. They're on different continents. There are different nations with different languages, different cultures, diverse political ideologies. They enjoy different foods, different lifestyles, and they subscribe to various social codes and various moral codes. And he asks the question, well, what prevents confusion and disorder? And here's the kicker. I love this. I was just talking to a friend earlier today. I was telling him the importance of agreement. Again, what prevents confusion and disorder? The world works by agreement. The world works by agreement. The world works by agreement. I think everybody listening to this challenging CD would agree with me. Again, excuse my redundancy, but the world works by agreement. And one of the key elements of agreement are words. Words, they are the basic tool of communication. And words work only because of agreement about meanings. And let's look at one of our favorite subjects that's in the news quite frequently. Money, M-O-N-E-Y, money. Again, money exists only by agreement. We trust a continuing agreement. We can take 2 pieces of paper, put them on a park bench. One is $1, and one is just a piece of paper. Of course, somebody's come by, the chance now they're going to pick up the $1, because it has been solidly established that this $1 is worth more than a mere piece of paper. But again, we're just looking at the concept of agreement, and agreement is essential to society working. It is essential to our lives working. Our lives work to the degree that we keep our agreement, which brings us to keeping agreements. What are the benefits of keeping agreements? Well, it improves our self-esteem. The author points out you can get better grades. Here in WBI, if we keep our agreement, well, people can give the more, knowing that they're going to get their premiums on time and get the exact premiums that they pledged for. And we've had challenges in this area, but every time I come back here, I can see improvement, and this is with all honesty. Truly, WBI is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. But again, I'm just kind of touching a little bit about the power of agreement, and you are your word. Again, let's go back to our acrostics. Worth and potential, W. B, building lasting relationship. 3, agreement. The world works by agreement. No agreement, no power. Okay, WBAI, inspiration. I love this word, inspiration. Here recently I've been beginning to realize that what I believe was Thomas Edison tells us about genius. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. But inspiration, the word inspiration means to breathe life into. And we as pragmatic leaders in training, one of the stellar elements of a WBAI leader is they breathe life. They are inspiring. And I hope there's at least a teeny bit of inspiration in these words that I'm putting together. But again, I'm just looking at WBAI. And what did you do on June the 4th, 2011? Well, I know exactly what I did. I composed some poems. I was thinking about the volunteers in general, and thinking about WBAI volunteers specifically. And I was reading different books about volunteerism and just really studying the dynamics of how to run and cultivate an effective and great volunteer program. And so I wrote several poems. And I have a group which I call the Blissful Knitters Roundtable. Blissful means extreme ecstasy, happiness, heavenly kind of feelings. Of course, knitter, that means to blend, to bind together, to connect together. So I have this thing what I call the Blissful Knitters Roundtable presents T.T. Bug III, the poet's cousin, Poetic Celeste Flexions in Volunteerville, USA, 2011. It's kind of long. Let me say it again. The Blissful Knitters Roundtable presents T.T. Bug III, the poet's cousin, Poetic Celeste Flexions in Volunteerville, USA, 2011. T.T. Bug the third, I call myself the poet's cousin. By the way, I have a word for each word in this word T.T. Bug. The first T is trust, the next T is trustworthy, B is for build, U, unite, G, grow. That's a little secret there. That's the free part. But I call myself the poet's cousin because I look at all the great poetry. A friend right here at WBAI shared with me her poetry, one of her poems, and it just confirmed why I call myself the poet's cousin. I have an aunt. Sometimes she would bake a cake and it comes out not according to her standards, and she said, "James, this is the cake's cousin." So what I'm about to share with you is the poet's cousin. But my focus is on Volunteerville, USA, 2011. And I'm going to share these poems with you. The first poem is an acrostic. As you may know, that I just love acrostic. It's a great teaching tool. It's a great way to dig into the recesses of your mind to find out what you believe. After a while, if you do them often enough, you're going to find out a whole lot of things about yourself. For an example, when I see a V word, there's about 2 or 3 words that comes to mind in terms of my core values. V, victory. V, values. Okay, but anyway, let me read this poem based on the word volunteer. Volunteers this is my first time reading this out aloud. Values which are universal or on the glow. Opulence, opulence, opulence from the inside flow. Labor to leave a positive legacy that will last. Understanding, please seek it first with Sophia's gas. Natural laws will be faithful in the keys of each day. Time is neutral and democratic, come what may. Enthusiastically give your treasure, talent, and time. Empower yourself and others as a pragmatic prime. Relationship building as a farmer we build with skill. Welcome to the self-given place called Volunteerville. Celeste Fleck with DP poetically in Volunteerville, USA, as we each position ourselves for our brand new day. So America, let's be great drum majors with bliss by being great volunteers for such a time as this. Okay, mobilize. Glow, you mobilizers, mobilize with bliss. Great volunteers for such a time as this. Let's get the army of volunteers to recreate America's bliss as a yet becan crew. The invisible hand. The invisible hand is moving inside of you, challenging you to become part of our Yes We Can crew. Freely give. Like loss, by the way, loss, L-O-S, that means lucky old son. Freely give. Like loss, I today freely give my time, talents, treasure, that all others may live. For what do I have that I did not receive? Shall not I give as I in truth cleave? Is there not a cause? As the shepherd boy, I this day ask, is there not a cause as I in bliss bask? America's essential partner. Yep, they help us be all we can be by giving time and talents absolutely free. Our growth and progress are empowered by volunteers from the pragmatic sky. As partners with the source, we have a key role helping America daily achieve her goal. Yet essential partners are each one of us in the place called in God we trust. What would happen if? What would happen if us volunteers quit? Would not this give our system a fit? 3 investments. Behold, O great ones and great ones to be. Behold, great investments, which totals 3. The first one is time, which is given to all, to be used up as we rise and fall. Oh, what a precious gift is our time. Not to use it wisely is a real crime. So give at least 10% of your time with grace and show that the world that you are on the case. The next great gift you can daily give are your talents as you wisely live. Whether it's writing, singing, leading, or teaching, share your unique talents, even if it's preaching. Your gift of your talent will indeed make a difference in America, which we each have a stake. So don't bury your talents. Give them to us as we as a nation ride in our pragmatic bus. The third great gift in our land of milk and honey is our treasure, which includes good old money. My own natural energy yield help us to grow. Come on, let's face it, we all need some dough. For sure, your money is your very life. Share some of it, absent of strife. Time, talents, treasures are indeed great and much more. Investments in the keys of life. Shall we arise and soar? A leadership laboratory. In the lab of the leadership sort, where the zeal of giving is daily court, the leader in me is developed within. By my being a volunteer, I learn to win. A leadership institute is the volunteer's world, where you discover you are a pragmatic pearl. So lab up and volunteer and develop in you pragmatic leadership skills daily anew. A place to improve, a place to improve, a place to improve. Just think there is a place where you don't have to wait to improve with a positive view. In the place called now, you can improve the world with your time, talents, and treasure, each a pragmatic pearl. New ideas. Bubbling, bubbling, they can flow out of your belly, new ideas as you simply glow. Glow within and mind new ideas in you. Refine them with your Yep, we can crew. Learn how to plan and organize your time, including volunteering as a high prime. Genesis 4:9. Does Genesis 4:9 have space in your mind at one with grace? If Ologyville, if not you, then who? I humbly ask anew, with trust as our pragmatic glue. If not right now, when, my dearly beloved friend? For life's clock daily tick-tocks on, O bone of my very cherry bone. Shall not we arise with change as our friend, knowing ultimately we will win? Hope's glasses. Hope keeps its glasses on, anchored in the soul in agape zone. Hope sees the invisible with pragmatic bliss, feels the intangible for such a time as this. Hope achieves the impossible by grace through faith, expecting daily what the wise ones say. Can I be great today? Can I be great today in a small, large way? Will a smile be a great